Hello VC, my name is Richard. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and that life is getting more back to normal for everyone. A little bit more back to normal here, still a little bit to go I think, but hoping soon. Anyways, I have been enjoying watching many of the videos that you all have put out and the interactions on those videos. I felt like I should contribute with some content now. I will start out here showing Agusa, a Swedish progressive rock, progressive folk band that Pete over at Sound from the West Coast turned me on to. Their really great kind of long form instrumental music, I'd say. This album was, well, I got it in September. It might have been dropped in late August. I forget exactly now. It took a little longer to get here. The name of the album is En annan värld, or Another World in English. It is proper proggy for sure, with one track per side, and it about fills the side, so 20 some minutes, I forget exactly. Side A is called Sagobrus, or fairy tale pop. Now that's the Midwest version of soda pop, or some form of fizzy drink. Fairy tale pop, as I would call it in my now adopted, somewhat Midwestern American English accent, is, I don't know if it's common in many countries, but I know also in Norway you can get this drink, generally some kind of artificial berry flavored sweet fizzy drink, where you have some imagery based on a fairy tale on the label. And then side B, Uppenbarelser, or Revelations, is the second track. Both very good tracks, very strong. Now maybe someone would say this could only come from a Norwegian, but the first track almost at times sound a little upbeat. Not all the time, but sometimes, at least for a Scandinavian progressive rock track. That's at least the joke I hear from many, is that maybe some of the Scandinavian music isn't particularly upbeat, and while Norwegian company is one of the larger operators in the Caribbean for cruise ships, Royal Caribbean, depending upon your style, if you want to have a lot of fun, maybe you better not go on that one. I don't know if that's true or not. Cruises are not my thing, but anyways, I highly recommend this album. Great listens. I will try to insert a needle drop before I transition into the next into the next segment here. I was happy to get this colored vinyl, and the colored vinyl was not available everywhere. This is the kind of special edition colored vinyl that was I ordered from a store in Athens, in Greece. at a very reasonable shipping rate. It's amazed that you can make it that cheap. I know, ordered something from Norway, and for an LP you pay quickly as much in shipping, if not more, to ship an LP. So that does not happen too often. Like I said, I think I already mentioned Pete from Sounds on the West Coast turned me on to Agusa earlier this year, and I have really appreciated that, and it has really made a little bit of dent in my wallet, but I don't regret it. Really a great band for those of you that are into Scandinavian rock. Skogsbrug, Forest Prog, as you can hear John Bellamy talk about it in his great videos on Scandinavian progressive rock as of late. And I really recommend checking Agusa out. I know they also are on Bandcamp, and you can hear them on YouTube Music, which is kind of my streaming services when I'm away from my stereo, if you will. Then I will dive into the world of CDs. I know maybe it's oops, and hopefully without ruining the box here, but I could not help it earlier this year, or not that long ago, in September, I believe, a new Graaf Generator CD box set was released. This was material from the Charisma years, 1970 through 78. Now, Graaf Generator is a British progressive rock band where a lot of my favorite music comes from. It's not just all Scandinavian by any means. And collecting Graaf Generator on vinyl can be an expensive proposition if you can get a hold of it. I don't know what kind of treasure trove my dad has laying around in his house, since he probably bought a lot of these albums as they came out, so he has the OGs, although they may be very heavily played. I have been streaming and have some digital format Graaf Generator, so that's how I fooled myself to justify buying a large box set. 20 discs, 3 of them are Blu-ray video. I have not made my way fully through the box set yet, but have enjoyed certainly pieces of it. So this has some various concerts, but also the studio albums, then from the Charisma years, including the last. The least we can do is Wave to Each Other, H to the He, Who Am the Only One, Pawn Hearts, God Bluff, Still Life, World Record, The Quiet Zone, The Pleasure Dome, Vital, and then some new stereo mixes of H to the He, Pawn Hearts, God Bluff, and Still Life. Really enjoy those new stereo mixes. And I particularly spent time on the God Bluff album, and a lot more instrument separation, particularly my headphone rig, which probably is on the whole better quality than my speaker listening equipment, without being anything too insane for equipment, but it sounds really good. My stereo tends to be a tad bright, and that's probably shows on these on this box set, but again, I put that entirely on my stereo, not on the mastering here. So in the box set, you also have this insert of where you get pictures of all the master tape labels that they utilized for pulling this box set together. There are some folders with CDs. So this is the first one, the first 12 CDs. And Here you got the Blu-rays and more CDs, and one of my CDs must be in the player still. So in all that, you see there's no cover art on actually the you know, for the CDs themselves, but you get this really nice hardcover book that has a lot of information, a lot of pictures, and all the album art included. I really look forward to spending some more time on this book. There's a lot of neat material in here. For one thing, I enjoyed the all the ads that are that you can see just as you open up the covers. You get some information on different venues and all the other bands that they played with at the time. So I think several places I saw Genesis being associated or being at the same venue. I can see here one that says the Nice plus Fender Graaf Generator. So the Nice, if you want to know about the Nice, I recommend you check out Michael P. Dawson's latest video on his channel. Just kind of fun to read all that all the bands associated with or that kind of have been at the same place about the same time. Fender Graaf Generator and Wishbone Ash I see here. Anyways, see if I find some album art as well to show. So it's from the World Record. I think the last, is it the last or one of the last Charisma year's studio albums. You have the picture of the band itself, and I think that's kind of the last configuration of the band, if I'm not mistaken, with Peter Hamill, whose vocals many don't appreciate. I do really like Peter Hamill vocals. David Jackson on saxophone, and if you are interested in saxophone playing and the really raw saxophone song from Fender Graaf Generator, there's some nice YouTube videos out there where they talk to David Jackson about that. Guy Evans and Hugh Banton are the other two guys. I just highly recommend getting this if you have big gaps in your Fender Graaf Generator physical media collection. Again, vinyl is just a little too much. Well, I thought I'd round this video off with just a few notes on stuff on my mind that is coming out, have just come out, that maybe some of you would be interested in as well. I just got a CD in here a few days ago. I still working on digesting it. This is the new Malady CD. Malady is a Finnish progressive rock band. This is their album Aina Vihanta, and I may be butchering the pronunciation there a little bit. It's also coming out on vinyl, but as with many bands, the vinyl is somewhat delayed. I think maybe in December, I want to say it's coming out. Otherwise, I had very much on my radar to check out a band called Shamblemaths. Shamblemaths is a Norwegian band. They released one album in 2016, and they just released their second album. The second album is on Apollon Records, which is a sister label of Norwegian Charisma. The band is also present on Bandcamp. Unfortunately, I've not found a really good way to get it to the US yet. There are no vendors here in the country that are selling physical media So maybe I have to be a little patient, but very much like to get all of that. It has gotten very good reviews. Then I have a couple of albums on pre-order that I think should be coming in not too long. One is the latest album by PFM, or the Italian progressive rock band Premiata Forniera Marconi. And Pete, if you're watching, tell me how much I butchered that. I think the CD is already out. Again, I'm waiting for a vinyl. Then I have also pre-ordered Pink Floyd's re-release of A Momentary Lapse of Reason. I know not their strongest album to many, and I'm also in that camp. But the recent re-releases of Pink Floyd albums have been just very good quality, and I couldn't help myself by ordering it on vinyl, which I don't have it on vinyl so far, and still some sentimental value to me as being some of the Pink Floyd music that came out about the time that I got into Pink Floyd myself. Then some really exciting news to me. I've learned of Elds Mark coming out with a new album shortly. I have shown their first self-titled album from 2020 a couple of times, one time on CD and one time on vinyl here myself. You may have seen John Bellamy's latest video as I put this out, where he also does a needle drop of Elds Mark. I think I read November 5th, but I could not confirm that at present. In the same post, and because Elds Mark and Jordsjø is very closely related, it also said that Jordsjø is recording a new album, or starting to record a new album here shortly. I believe it said maybe in the May time frame that would be out. So that is very exciting. That hopefully don't have to wait more than a year after the excellent Pastoralia album came out before we get some more Jordsjø as well. So I think that's it for me today. I hope again that you're all doing well, and look forward to seeing everyone's videos, and appreciate comments and all the interaction. Thank you. Take care.